Hey y'all, it's your girl Indigo Queen. Welcome to the very first episode of the Miss Me With It podcast. Today I have one of my favorite people, aka one of my favorite people to disagree with, Mr. Blunt Rap himself. Steph, go ahead and tell us who you are.
What's up, everybody? My name's Steph, representing BluntRapENT. I'm glad to be making history with you, being your first guest on your first episode. So we're gonna make it monumental.
Thank you, thank you. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I know a little bit about your blunt rap movement, but my followers and following don't, so can you go ahead and give us a little quick synopsis on that?
Blunt rap, acronym, it means boldly living united in truth, rebelling as people. Long acronym, but it's simple. We believe in being bold with the truth. We all about the truth. We not God. We not always right, but we always gonna do our best to try to be truthful. So that's the main thing, and be bold with it. And how it came about. Shout out to the Blunt Rap Capo. I've been on this journey for a minute, even before me and bro met, and my journey allowed us to meet. And once we started the collab, it was like, bro, I've been doing what I did. I did everything to build my name up, but you loyal, bro. You hungry. We got to do something together, cause bro so loyal, he was putting a lot of time just to build my name up, and he got a lot of talent. I'm like, nah, bro, this a us thing. But in order for us to put material out there as a us, we got to come up with a banner. So we was in the car one day, smoking, talking, and God, that's how great he is. He had blessed you with a single thought. So we was like, the type of music we make, the type of content we make, me and bro, we was like, it's blunt. It's blunt rap. And we was like, damn, that's what it's called. It's going to be blunt rap. And then we meditated on that and came up with an acronym. So that's how it came about. And I feel like we just content creators. Our whole mission is to uplift our people, be innovative, and do the best that we can to be pleasing in God's eyes.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. Love the mission. Shout out to the Blunt Rap Capo. I love what you guys do. Love what you guys stand for. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of the questions. I know that you are a big fan of hip-hop, and you are very passionate about hip-hop. So your music is kind of on the conscious side of hip-hop.
I hate when people say that.
Why do you hate that?
I think we give them all flavors. I think reality is the category we in. I think we in the reality lane.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think, I don't know, when you get boxed in with the consciousness, like, you know, it's hard for people to explore. They'll box you in sometimes. Some people don't even listen to Common sometimes because they think he in a specific lane. I don't want them to do that to our music. We could talk about anything. I feel like me and bro could make songs for the women in the strip club to dance to, but we also could make music about the women that's going through being single mothers out here. We can make music telling the youth that they got different directions to go besides trapping. But we also could rap about that life because we didn't experience time in that field. You know what I'm saying? So I think reality music, I think that's the type of music we make.
Okay, I like that you said reality music. So what do you think separates you guys from some of the other artists that are coming up from this area?
Well, there's a lot of talent in this area, but I also feel like it's a lot of trendy too, you know what I'm saying? But that's natural. That's life. You know, some people, we might got a different passion. Some people might, you know, it's hip hop. Everybody doing it. Even people that's not even serious with it. They're gonna be like, hey, this is working. It's easy for me to follow the trend of the same sounds and stuff like that. So I think not just us, but people that's cut from our cloth, we take pride in trying to be originality, you know, own lane. We take pride in that. So I think that's the difference, that we cool with sounding. Some people got it in them. Their true self or their true artistry is different, but they don't have enough heart to do it. They feel like they got to go a particular route. So I think that's the difference with us. We cool with being us. A lot of people not cool with being who they are. You know what I mean? Because it's pressure. You got this. We in the social media era. So that's the difference. I think we cool with being who we are.
Oh, okay, all right. So I have a question, quick question. So I know that you have a different sound. I love the sound of you have a different sound. But who would you say are some of the pioneers in hip hop, like where it all started? You know, we have our Beanie Faces, our Scarfaces, our KRS-One. I know it didn't start with them, but I know that their sound made an impact in the community, in the music community.
Mm-hmm.
So who do you think made that same impact, or who our pioneers are in hip hop?
I think hip hop, we the collection of all black music, period. We done took from everything, blues, classic R&B. We the collection. We black. Hip hop is black music's baby. You get what I mean? So I think our inspiration just come from black music as a whole. That's who credit hip hop. James Brown, he the most sampled person in hip hop. We gotta thank him. Gil Scott Heron, we gotta thank him. He one of the original poets. Even Muhammad Ali, the great poet that he was. People ain't real. He really was a rapper for real. He influenced it, but for me, like the pioneers for me, because I wasn't around to really see what the 80s era really was like. I went back and studied, but the ones like me, Conscious and Living, that golden era, the 90s era, people like Tupac, of course they didn't pioneer it, but they helped push the culture forward. But overall, I just think black music as a whole contributed to hip hop. I don't think it's one single thing. They try to say it. Hip hop was created in 1973 in the Bronx. And yeah, like the form of how they was MCing and like the technical, but hip hop as a whole, because it ain't just music, it's culture. And what culture is it? Black culture. So I think black music as a whole influenced hip hop. All we did was just recycle everything from it.
Okay, yes, I definitely do agree with you. I think hip hop, well, from my perspective, I think hip hop, the art of rapping is something that is lost within some of the new things that we're hearing as far as trap music and just different type of hip hop artists. But I will say one of my favorites is Nas. He really stands out to me just about what he's talking about, and to me his music is something that is going to continue to live on for those people who are into it and who really like his type of music.
He's one of the GOATs.
Yeah. I'm
heavily influenced by Nas. Anybody could tell you. I ain't even fixed my chipped tooth because of Nas. That's my man.
Okay.
But yeah, Nas is great. And just to go back on what you said you believe like a certain art is missing in it.
Yeah.
Because of what they promote. I believe our people, we already know they going to promote on the mainstream. In my opinion, I don't want to sound biased because they promote some stuff on the mainstream that do crank and do got talent, but they in control of it. So I think the lost art that you think missing, it's not missing. Our people just got to know where to look for it at.
Okay, so you feel like it's out there, we just haven't found it.
It's a lot of great artists out here that really talking, that's really making music for the soul, but it's not pushed. You know what I mean? Because corporate America took over hip hop. They controlled it. Why would they want to push certain artists that's speaking about independence? They'd rather get somebody that's more trendy thinking, because they could just reach for the bag, and when they through with them, they get another one to replace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's always been a pattern though, and just media and entertainment altogether. They don't go for who's talking truth or talking, you know, things that may influence our community. They more so talk about, they want to go for towards whoever's talking about sex, whoever's showing a butt and titties and things like that.
Or whoever's willing to put the battery in their back. Whoever will, because they can control them more. They don't want, why would, because if you push somebody that's about the truth, they'd be out of business, because they vultures.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like I be on the internet, it's a little vlogger, Jordan Tower, VLAD TV. They, not to make it a race thing, they not black, you know what I mean? I feel like they visitors of the culture, but if you hear their videos, how they just be, oh, this one is garbage, or they, but I'm like, damn, y'all visitors to the culture. Who gave y'all the green light to talk about it like that? But we did. We gave them that power, and since we gave them that power, the ones you talking about, they got the lost art, they missing. You get what I'm saying? They lost in the sauce, but people like us, we changing that.
Okay, so I heard you talk about a little bit about some of the people, the artists that influence you, and I heard you mention Nas. So I want to know, do you have a top 5? And who's in your top 5?
Yeah, I got my personal top 5, but the older I get and more mature and more humble, I think we should no longer, it ain't no such thing as one greatest of all time. It's two great. Like, I hate, and it caused division. Like, if you look at sports, Bron better than Mike, Mike better than Bron, and people really lose sight of true greatness because they comparing. Mike ain't do this, so they more diminished.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not really a comparison. It's like, who do you go to if you know that you need something that's going to uplift your spirits, or you in the mood to clean, or you just doing anything? Who would you go to? Who would be, or you know?
So I'm gonna say my top 5 favorite, my favorite.
Okay.
Because I don't got no goats no more.
Okay.
Of course, that bald head guy that died in 1996, the great Tupac, top of my list. Because I feel, this is my opinion, I feel like he was the most influential. I feel like he really lived it all the way out. He was work ethic. When he speak, crowds of people was drawn to him. That's power for real. Like, he had real power. It wasn't just his music. He could talk. You could sense his empathy for the people. He had passion. You know Scarface, because Scarface done survived many eras. Face been around since late 80s. Still relevant to this day. You gotta go with Face. Another one who was very influential. Nas, of course. I love Nas. Like, Nas just reminded me of, he was just cool. He made it, like, because his background, people don't know this, but Nas come from the biggest housing projects in America, Queensbridge. That's the biggest. So to come from that type of environment where it's a population of 5,000 people, and it's poverty, it's violent, and he was still in a place where things be ignorant, and he was that intelligent, and he promote intelligence. Nas a bad dude for real. Like, it's only gonna be one Nas.
That was 3, I think. That was 3.
Yes, 3. You gotta give Jay his credit. You know what I'm saying? It's, people feel, but the thing about Jay, he represented status. Like Jay, I listen to it. Jay tell you in the music, I don't slack a minute. You know? And a lot of people that want to accomplish things, you got to look at people like Jay. You got to study his work ethic. You got to like, some people feel like it's cool to be late. Sometimes we was late today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, y'all was late, but it's okay. Y'all made it. Y'all made it.
You know, we all got to be disciplined. That's when I look at Jay, he remind me of a real professional. You know what I'm saying? He it's about elevating, and sometimes when you elevate, you gotta leave people behind. That's what Jay represent, excellence to me. And number 5, I'm gonna go like an old school person on them. I'm gonna go. Damn, who usually be my top 5? Okay, old school. I'm gonna give people. I gotta give KRS-One.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm giving KRS-One, because he never tried to go with the times. He the teacher. That's his nickname. So, hey, if you thirst knowledge, KRS-One, one of the artists you need to study. He taught people about beef. He got a song called Beef, educating our people on how beef is unhealthy for us. He made a song back in the day called You Must Learn. When Nas patented it, when he had, I don't know if you remember when Nas had a song called I Know I Can't
Be What I Wanna
Yeah,
Be.
that was triggered by KRS-One had already did that in the 80s. He had a song called You Must Learn when he was educating our people on history that they don't put in school. People don't give that type, that's credit. That's teaching the people through music. You know what I mean? KRS-One, he's still recording. He never stopped. He just stayed in this lane. So just off of work ethic and just total accolades, KRS-One got to be considered in my top 5. So that's my top 5.
Okay, so I noticed in your top 5 you do have a lot of the old school artists, such as KRS-One. And I wanted to ask you, so a long time ago, not a long time ago, but in that KRS-One era and that Ice Cube era and the Scarface era, it was a lot of storytelling, such as songs, I Seen a Man Die, different Ice Cube songs that told stories. Do you feel like that's the art that may be lost in modern hip-hop, storytelling?
I think so, though. I can honestly say that, like, the storytelling, just educating our people on things that we go on, like that go on in our regular life, whether it's through dating. And I don't think artists today do a good job at storytelling.
Okay.
Everything seems to be more turned up. There's no more scenarios. So back then, yeah, I think storytelling was the art. Everybody had a story to tell, for real, so.
And so through music, I will say that Meek Mill, he had a sequel. Was it Tony's Story? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know he kind of tapped back into that telling a story with that.
The young dude who passed away, rest in peace to him, King Von. I respected him because he was a storyteller. I give it. He was a young, even though he was rapping about jacking and this and that, I respected it because it was real. I don't condone in that behavior, but I respected it because it was real. He was educating them young people that's glorifying that lifestyle. Like I remember he had this song, I bet you can't relate. And if you really think about it, who wants to really be taking somebody's life? Like he was talking about how, you know, they was doing robberies and probably taking people's life come with that lifestyle. But people don't think about how that could haunt you. You know what I mean? Damn, I just took it. You know what I mean? And it haunts you. And I like he was telling story, the crazy story. So rest in peace to King Von. He was a young generational artist that was a storyteller. I think, I give him credit.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. So I have one last hip hop question before I get into the politics with you.
Okay.
And so, do you keep up with hip hop's current topics and things like that, such as the Irv Gotti and The Game? I know The Game recently released a diss track. Did you check that out? The Black Slim Shady?
Yeah, I seen the whole interview with Irv on Drink Champs with Ja. I don't know if you about to ask me about Ashanti.
No, I wasn't about to ask you about them.
Well, for the sake of convo, he was out of line for that. I thought that's what you was about to ask me. But what about Irv? You want to know?
Oh no, I was just asking because that was another topic that's relevant.
Yeah, I seen it.
But no, I really wanted to talk about the Slim Shady, the Black Slim Shady, the gangsters. You heard that right?
Yeah. Game just rap is a competitive sport. Eminem to me is one of the greatest of all time, but he could never be the greatest of all time because hip hop. I'm gonna be stingy with our culture. It's our culture. You can't even be considered the GOAT because you're not black. You're not. It's certain things you just can't touch on, and that's a big thing. Black is that's big to touch on, and you can't touch on that. So you one of the greats, but you're not the greatest. And Eminem, I don't think he tried to make himself seem like that, but the machine pushed him. So since the machine pushed Eminem, he's gonna run into a lot of wars. Cause people gonna be like, oh y'all push, I ain't gonna allow y'all to let 50 years go down the line and Eminem face will be the face of, he was the greatest. Cause they changed history.
So what do you think sparked The Game's diss track for Eminem?
From the outside looking in, you gotta think, the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Super Bowl has always been historically, if like Whitney Houston when she did the national anthem, that's the Super Bowl. Even commercials, like it's a lot of money involved. It's a lot of viewership. So if you get those slots, it's big. So by Jay-Z being whatever position he got with the NFL, meaning he controlled the music, the Super Bowl, he picked Dr. Dre and Snoop because the Super Bowl was in LA. And some people felt by having Eminem perform, 50 Cent, and Mary J. Blige, which is 3 artists that's not from LA, people feel like, why not give those spots to artists that was from LA? They was just promoting their music. That's why 50 Cent was performing in the club, because Interscope owned the record. Mary J. Blige did her songs with Dr. Dre, because Interscope, it was an Interscope thing, but they marketed it like it was an LA thing. We in Cali, we about to do Cali Love, but it wasn't. So Game viewing it like, damn, I used to be with Aftermath, I'm from LA, even though we ain't see eye to eye for the culture, why would you give 3 people that's not from LA, you get what I'm saying? So, by the sport being competitive, he said, okay, I'm gonna see if I could throw a rock into their money. So what he did when he made the Black Slim Shady, he just tried to show Eminem, I could rap with your style, which he did. But Eminem can't rap with the Game style. He's limited. As great as Eminem is, the game could mimic Eminem. Eminem can't mimic game because he can't. It's impossible. You get what I'm saying? So he just let him know ain't nothing Eminem could respond back and do to me. But that's just petty, stupid hip hop stuff.
Thank you for the insight, because when I heard the diss, I was like, what triggered the diss? So now you broke it down a little bit more that the game could have been on the Super Bowl.
And game, that's always been his marketing tool.
Oh, okay.
Great lyricist, but a lot of his buzz musically always be surrounded. He kind of took 50 Cent musical promotion. Like, if you look back at 50 Cent in his prime, whenever he was coming out with an album, it had to be controversy attached to it. So that's what the game did. And Eminem, why not attach yourself to Eminem, who got the machine behind it? All game trying to do is just get buzz. You know, he messing with the white boy and hoping that it'll bring some attention on him, for real.
Okay.
But it's gonna fizzle out.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, I do want to jump into the politics and talk about why this is my favorite person to disagree with. So, I know that you do a lot of outreach, and in one of your videos, I don't know if you were outreaching, but I know that you were in like a community area by some stores, and you walked up to, it looked like a security guard, and you called him a spy, and I wanted to know, from your perspective, what made that man a spy in that moment.
He was a white police officer.
Okay.
He was cool.
Okay, Paul. So are all white police officers spies?
I don't think so, because all of them not placed in our area.
Okay, so are all the white police officers in this area spies?
I don't think so, because all the white police officers is not assigned to be in the black areas.
Okay.
But this particular police, the strip, our business, the barbershop and studio, we the only black-owned business on the strip. So I think me and my brother I was just like, but look at this. All you see is black people shopping. The Chinks, they used to do a dirty game. They had, like, before the Arabs boarded over, like, because it's tobacco stores. It used to be the Chinks. They had the convenience store. And they used to make the backwoods, for the smokers, they used to make the backwoods so high. And they used to think it was a joke because they knew the poverty-stricken areas, some people had no choice but to go there. So it's like you're going to pay whatever we tell you to pay. And I used to be like, damn, that's what Nipsey Hussle was trying to do. Buy up the strip and employ his own people. So when I look at the strip, I'm like, damn, we the only black-owned. All these other businesses is foreign-owned, and all the customers, 99% of the customers is people within the neighborhood. But I'm like, why you got the white boy in the, what do he relate to us with? We need our own people monitoring us instead of spying on us, in my opinion, because he not doing nothing to contribute. So
what if he is from this area?
He ain't from out. I ain't seen him in.
It's Caucasians coming around here.
That was a white police officer that was doing his time. You know, it wasn't his fault. I'm just talking about how it's designed. Why is he monitoring us? If it is, why not have a black police that's really, you know what I mean? I couldn't even really have a decent conversation without feeling like it's going to be tension. It should be a black police officer getting that easy money. He come from the community. Just like it should be black-owned stores on the whole strip. And some of them young kids that's out there that got nowhere to go, they smoking weed, they just looking like maybe if they had an opportunity to work at one of these stores, you know what I mean, they apply themselves more.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Thank you for breaking that down a little bit more. Because when I first saw the video, I was like, I don't think this man is a spy. I really thought he was just out doing his job. But when you break down how, it's a majority black area, if it was a black cop, you would have felt a little bit more comfortable with him securing our area.
In our area, especially where it's a lot of poor areas, we know the stuff that's in the black community that we not proud of, like the people that's on drugs and this, that, and the third. I don't think people that ain't from our culture should witness that if they not really with it. That's why I said a black police. He a white police officer that's going to go back to his home and not really care what's going on. So he shouldn't be there. It's like a spy. He's witnessing, oh, this is what they're doing. this is how, this is their language, oh, this is how they, that's spy to me. Because why we giving them our culture and they don't care about elevating it?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. To me, it's like you're really thinking deep into it. When I looked at it, I was just looking on the surface, like
he's literally a spy.
No, yeah, I didn't look at it like he was a spy. I looked at it as he's doing his job.
Yeah.
And if you breaking it down like his job is to
Yeah.
spy.
In his mind, he just doing his job. But I was talking about the overall thick of things. Our people, we got a lot of work to do as a whole, and we don't need to be like, you remember, my mother wasn't letting us have company if the house was dirty. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be having company with our house dirty. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, Steph. Well, thank you for this wonderful interview. Before we go ahead and end it, can you tell the people what you have coming up or any projects that you're working on right now?
My artist, the Blunt Rap Capo Easky, he got athletes and entertainers coming out with a powerful skit with Dick Gregory.
Okay.
Our other artist, Skip, shout out to Skip. He got that stepdad video out right now. A lot of stepdads don't get the credit they deserve. And he got Humble Too Long. We about to just put out a lot of music. You already know we got this coming out, you know what I mean? This interview.
The Miss Me With It podcast, y'all. Mm-hmm.
The main thing, I can't even put, we just gonna keep creating content. And whoever it touch, it touch.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Well, we look forward to hearing from you. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.